Hello everyone and welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. I've built a city with apartments and establishments, corporate offices, shops and so on. It's been a lovely day, so I thought I'd take the AR plot into real land and extend it so I can see the high-rise buildings touch the blue skies. I think it's really lovely. And the rest of the tour will have to take place in normal mode so we could get through the different spaces as quickly as possible. So it's on a small plot, obviously, that's why you could see it in AR, and there are 3 different buildings on this plot. They're all high-rise at different levels and they are all separate. There are cracks, between the buildings, so they're not adjoined to each other. Okay, so we're going to see how they're split, but even then I found ways to make it look like more buildings, so not just 3. The corporate building would be the one that's to the right here, so it's one building on its own, but it looks like 2 buildings together because I've cut one building down with a balcony. It's also separate from the other building on the left. And another thing I did was try and make this building in the middle part that has the faces of the models a completely different shape. So it's got the bay windows, isn't it? So it's got that oval shape. It's a complete different building instead of cubes and rectangles. That stands out on its own. Then there's another crack between that building and the actual shorter building here that looks like a little pub because of that horse statue. But there's an apartment there too, and there is a penthouse apartment in this city complex as well. All right, now this is where the cars are parked. There's no space at all on the plot to put them in or dot them around. That didn't work. And I wanted to see them, so I didn't create a basement car park or anything like that, and I could have, but it wasn't necessary, and I didn't want it to lag during recording, so that would have made it 6 floors and it would lag. Okay, now the other penthouse apartment is situated here, and they have an outdoor space, so you can see what they have out back here, and it's more private, facing the rear of the build. And I thought it was nice to give them some green in this concrete jungle that already exists as it is. And then you have the other building that looks over into that garden or outdoor space somehow. But just imagine that there's a huge distance between buildings anyway, as it should be. This is the corporate building, as you know, and the window placement reflects that. So at a glance, you can tell that that's more corporate. You can see the more traditional cafe building. You could see the more boutique type building where the apartment is, and so on. Okay. We have a little green, beautiful sort of city center area where your Sims could go jogging and so on. Use your imagination. It's a concrete jungle anyway, so you've got that green patch in the middle, which is important. You could sit down out here and eat food from the cafe, have a drink, a coffee, and do some work. So your vendor out here is the owner of the cafe itself, the coffee shop, not a cafe. And this is basically his turf. Okay, so his wife is manning the actual coffee shop that we're looking at now, and it's got everything. It's not just a coffee shop, it's got a lot of things in it, lots of snacks, lots of food. I've used the windows, I've used a lot of items from the Cafe Grande live event, a mixture of some of the items we already have in the game, and just being able to set them out and place them in this way, made it work and still feel a little bit spacious. I decided to include fruits in here. That's important. So I have a Sim who's gone fruity deciding, and of course, after you pick up a cup of coffee and a croissant, it's good to have a fruit. There is a chair at the back here for her to sit down and to stop people from coming in, because the Sims wander around now. And that's the way up to their apartment. So they live here and work here, and the only way up is through the door that we just saw, and you come into their living area straight away. Now again, their dining area is situated by this window, which I absolutely love. They get to look out and get a feel of green as well. They have a TV situated right across the way there, so it's not at all obstructed. They've got a little kitchenette in the corner here, and that's everything on this floor for them. And then of course the stairs take you up to their bedroom. and bathroom, and so on. Okay, so instead of another spiral, I went for this switchback staircase, and it pops up into a corridor. Now, I was just so glad to be able to place these laundry baskets and this unit here with lots of bits and bobs. You know, it's a small space, so shelves are important. That's the door that then leads into their bedroom. So the lovely couple stays in here. That's a very big window, so it's well lit up. They have a double bed. One has to scoot across and then the other one gets in and they cuddle. And then I could have put a wardrobe here. So that's a space for a wardrobe. And straight across from the entrance, you can come into their bathroom here, which is fully fitted. Got everything they need. Again, shelves are important in small spaces. So that was quite useful to add more into the tiny space. And yes, as I say, they've got that big arched window, which I think is a lovely feature for them. It's the only window upstairs. Think of it as an attic, okay? They had to make it work to occupy the space. Now, the next building we'll look at is right here. The corporate is to the left, and of the same building, we have a smoothie to go shop. I really love this little space. So you come in under the arch, and there are areas to sit down, so you can sit down, have a drink or eat or something. A lot of windows again to see what's happening outside, an area to sit down and have one of those smoothies, or pay and have one to go. Okay, you have to come through this alleyway to get into the back of the shop to actually service the shop. So that's the access way for staff. And these pantry shelves were a great addition to the shop. You have to think of the lovely syrups and nuts and drizzles that would go on the shakes and smoothies, okay? And there's a fridge there and so on, and a sink, of course, to keep their hands clean. And that's it for my smoothie to go little shop, okay? Now, we have the other part of the building, which is the entrance to the main corporate tower. All right, and we have Missy here, who's very slick and edgy, and it's a very, cold reception. And of course there's a lift. On the reverse there's a couple of seats to sit down and wait while she speaks to someone to confirm why you're here. There is an air conditioning unit up top, again for a corporate building. And once you have been cleared, then you are brought up through this elevator here. Now, this is just another landing area for the elevator and a security sort of device situated on the wall of some sort. Now, there would be a corporation art piece up there, informative piece, emblem or something, and then of course you walk through, and again another buzzer is pushed and the door is open for you, and you're met by another roadblock receptionist who has more detail. You could see she's got more information in her space. Another security system, a door leading into a restroom here as well. Fitting in restrooms into this building was like a miracle. But yeah, so you come through to her. Oh great, I'm so glad that a sim has come down. It's just nice to be able to tour and to be able to see the sims moving around in the spaces, so you can see that everywhere is connected and accessible. So you pop up here, and as we go further up, you're getting closer and closer to the workers, okay? And this would be their area to sit down, catch a break, get a drink, or even a corporate client who has been brought up this far would sit down here and have a quick word with a consultant, business partner, or whoever it is they came to see. They got a view of the city from that angle, and then you've got some sliding doors that demarcate that space from where the workers are. This is one of the favorite spaces of mine. So they've got the cubicles, right? They've got their books and documents that they work with, and everywhere is demarcated properly. Love that it worked out this way. She's on the phone. He wants to talk to her about something. Another person's over in this corner on his end getting busy, and he's got some toilet tissue. So just think of it as wipes. Everyone is adhering to keeping their area clean and sanitized because of the COVID situation. That's what I think anyway, or that's my excuse for the tissue sticking out there. But yeah, everyone is busy, and 4 members of staff can work in this space. I'm so happy with the way it turned out in here, I have to say. Now you go further up, and we're going to get to the main boss in a minute, but you come further up here into a corridor space, and on this corporate building you still see the signage from down below for the Shakes to Go shop. This corridor has a spiral staircase leading to the boss's office and a door leading into another restroom. So happy I was able to get a restroom in here. And the signage as well is for this corporation on this part of the building. Okay. Before going to the next floor, we have a sliding door that leads into the staff kitchen. So this area services a boardroom on the side. Oh, lovely. The door's just popped open. That is great. But yeah, this is the kitchen for the staff. And as I say, there will be platters of different foods ordered from some fancy catering company for any boardroom meeting that takes place in here. They would have access to that food when they had gotten, say, halfway in their meeting. There are files on the table, a flip chart, and a projector screen, so to say, available to them to make use of. And they also got the air conditioning in here too as well. You get lots of those around in corporate buildings. Right, so we then pop up here again to a landing that has a seat, just the one, and some magazines as well, because not too many people come up this far. So you might be able to sit there and wait to see the big boss himself. You might remember Ben from my romantic Valentine restaurant. He was the one who kept his love waiting for so long because he was here closing a business deal. But this is his space. You'll remember that that's where the inspiration for this build came from. I built a city in AR and I thought, let me follow through with it and really put it together. He has a space out here to pop out and get some fresh air, maybe have his lunch out here and have it, set out here for him. Maybe I should put out some tables and a place to sit, or a helipad, because a helicopter would take him home from there and he doesn't have to sit in traffic. But yeah, you should check out that story. He had a girlfriend who was waiting for him. He was still stuck at work and never showed up. Well, we're on to the last building. There is a glass shield and then arches underneath which you can get in to the main front door and the signage window that you see there. So that's how you come into the boutique, and there are more windows on the side. It's a lovely double height room as well, and has all the items from the chic boutique event, or at least some of them. I've got a Sim walking by. I thought she would come in, but she didn't. But it's got all the items from the chic boutique event. Not everything obviously would be in here. I've gone for the pink options, and that's the owner of the boutique. There are bags, clothes as well. 2 of the clothing racks can be used, the ones on the edge, but the one in the middle can be accessed. And when you do, you can make use of the changing room in the corner there. There is a spiral staircase on this part of that changing room that leads up to the couture section, where there's more expensive clothes and specialized outfits and an area to check yourself out. It's a very grand level in a way. They get to see the chandeliers, they get to see those arched windows, the beautiful artwork, and a view of the shop window upstairs, and they get to look out to the green patch up front. Okay, so that's everything that we have on this double height level, and we have, I think I saw someone come in. Will they come up there? No, they're not going up, but I was hoping they would pop up there. I just don't want to touch anything or anyone. Okay. This is the way into the elevator section that takes us up to the penthouse apartment. So there are a couple of elevators here. Fantastic. I've got a Sim, but he's going downstairs. This is the elevator we needed, so we're coming up here. And he would have come from this apartment anyway. So there's a Sim up here. I love that they wander around free. That's great. So you can see that they're moving around and no one is obstructed. It's a very chic space. We've got dark wood flooring. You've got the industrial brick for the walls. You've got white, a splash of white in different pieces of furniture. And the TV works just fine with that L-shaped couch, plush couch placed against it. I thought it was important to show that to you. Okay. And yeah, I really just love the colors in the space. It's very edgy. You can access the bookshelf as well, and there is a door on the side here leading into the family's bathroom. You have to remember that all this is on a small plot, and there are a lot of spaces, and it does look spacious. On the far end, you've got that industrial type kitchen, got bar stools, shelves, and there is a vintage phone situated there. You have to take that off if you need to make use of the counter, and a breakfast in bed tray set. Okay, that fridge comes from an online pack, and the staircase pops up to this level. But first, I wanted to show you the angled window. I've done that before in one of my builds, or two of my builds, but I love the placement of the windows on the inside. It didn't do very much for the exterior at the back, but it didn't matter, not to me in this case. So we pop up this way, and there is a very lovely dining area for the occupant of this family. It could be turned into a bedroom. Honestly, it was a bedroom before. It's more vintage up here and modern downstairs, and the bay windows help out a lot with that. The door here leads out to that area that we saw from the exterior, so they can have a party up here and still, you know, entertain guests from the dining area out to the rooftop here. But there's some clothes out here for now. There are no guests, so the laundry is hanging outside. Alright, so the spiral staircase takes us up to this lovely chic bedroom. I really love this space, and in AR it looks really beautiful. Just to say that everything you have seen in this tour is exactly set out that way in AR. The build shot that you saw earlier on at the beginning is fully furnished, okay? Right, so you could sit on that chair and watch TV. I've tried that out with a sim, or you could take it off so both sides of the bed are useful. And that's a cosmetic mirror on the side there. Okay, so that completes the tour for this penthouse apartment. You can make it 2 rooms, as I said before. The penthouse bedroom could be the main master bedroom, and then the room below, which is the dining room, could be the next bedroom in this setup. And then of course the dining would have to be the bar stool area. Okay, I want to thank you so very much for watching. There will not be a live build for this city, but I will be putting up floor plans in our Facebook group. Feel free to join. The link is in the description down below. And yeah, you can absolutely recreate this, but if you upload it to any social media platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, and so on, then don't forget to use the hashtag JCfinger, and I'll be grateful for that. Take care. Bye.